I can see the chat from here. Okay, we should be live. Welcome back, everyone, to Deep Charts. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us and see us properly. And welcome back to this Deepdom launch week. This is session number 2, and today I'm here with Mr. Fabio.
Hi, guys.
And it's going to be, I would say, a different session today, because what we're planning to do for the rest of the week is to show you not only Deepdom, but how we typically host live sessions inside of Deep Charts. So we're going to take all the live sessions from the next 2 weeks that are typically reserved for the Deep Charts community, and we're going to make them for you guys here live on YouTube. Open to everyone, like a bit of a open day, or an open 2 weeks in this case. And the week typically starts with Fabio going through some ideas with the volume profile, and specifically with profile framing.
They advise to go closer to the microphone.
Closer to the microphone.
Echo in the microphone.
There's 2 microphones. That's the reason why. Now it should be okay.
Good. Yeah, it's better now, guys.
And for the benefit of everyone, I've bought a new computer, right? So no one can say I need to activate Windows anymore because I have Mac now. So yeah. Awesome.
Now
Perfect.
It's perfect.
So let me just make us a little smaller, as we matter less than the content, and move on to this place where we have ready for you guys the profiles and everything you might need. So I will give you this. Let's change computers, right?
Let's switch. Go with this.
Can I unplug this, or you need battery?
No. Unplug. Okay, guys. So the last week we went through the overview of the profile framing, and we analyzed the situation related to the commitment of traders report. And we saw that the market was having at the moment a pretty bearish situation. They are taking profit from the positioning on the S&P 500. I talk about the asset managers. Okay, I talk about the asset managers, and we always pair it with the profile framing. Last week I was thinking probably after this attempt to break out on the 4th of May, we will see an aggression on the sell side from the sellers. But what we saw, it's another switch up. They respected the profile of the cash session on the 5th of May, on the 6th of May, and on the 7th. And also now, the market opening gap down, but if the market close still in the range that you can see on this bottom side, so on the 28,600, we will continue to have probably a bullish drift. And this is the reason I always explain, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, it's for education purpose, but it's important to understand that our probability are on our favor when we have paired in one the fundamentals and the profile framing. And that's the moment, if I don't see a cash session not a London, closing below the 28,600, my direction remained bullish till proven wrong. At the same time, the situation that we are seeing from the commitment of traders report, it's rebalancing on the short side. So you can see more and more short open in the last 2-3 weeks release. This week is pretty neutral, and you can see also that the market is doing an amazing extra performance on the long side. Okay, at the same time, retail traders, so non-reportable, are long on this position, and the commercial traders are switching long. So the situation that we are having at the moment is a mismatch between non-commercial and commercial. This situation here usually brings to a rebalance. Now, you remember when I explained that I was expecting a market, to see the market going aggressively up when we were collapsing and everyone was thinking that I was crazy? I expect the same, it's not a financial advice, for the market when we see a closing of the profile below the previous range. So we have on the 28,550 two sensitive area. We have the profile low, we have the POC, the maximum point of control, and we have the last switch up here, okay? the data is starting to shift on the downside. When we have an acceptance of this is what I call a distribution phase. Now, do I enter blindly? No. When I have the profile aligned with fundamentals, I engage with the IVB. So I wait for the first minutes of the cash session to get aggressive on the downside, okay? And then I engage in direction of it. So I need to have three confirmation. The first one is fundamentals. The second one is the profile framing. The third one is the confirmation from the IVB, okay? This is how I engage intraday if I want to follow the drift. The previous week, guys, with the IVB and Nasdaq effort were printing, okay? Andrea also is applying the IVB. Every session it was extended average, extended average, extended average. We had some compression on Monday and Tuesday, but the next day were all explosive. And also the opening this week, it's pretty amazing because we see a huge gap down of Nasdaq and a huge gap up of crude oil. This makes me think that the fundamental situation is changing at the moment. And this could be the trigger, okay? This could be the trigger that brings to a rebalance on the downside. So we will go over the situation from the deep trades. Apply 1 second under the time not. I think you have everything on the share templates on this one. Perfect. Okay, we have everything here also.
If you need to zoom in, you have to go like this.
Yeah.
Non va così.
So the situation that we saw, guys, during the opening here is the fact that the market was pretty aggressive on the upside. This was, you have the same area marked. This was the area of the accumulation of the last week, okay? And I remember because I was live this one, we had a huge amount of absorption at the bottom side of this one. And then the market start to give confirmation from the IVB and Nasdaq effort on the upside. This week, I would like to see this level revisit, okay? I would like to see this level revisit, not to continue short, but to take a long from discount area if the fundamental situation and the profile framing don't change, okay? Today, I don't have any setups because I always wait for the opening of the New Year session to frame the potential direction of the day. And I'm implementing recently also the confirmation of the option flow, okay? So when I have the IVB directional and I have the Nasdaq effort, I start to use also the confirmation related to the option flow, okay? So if I have a positive GEX, a negative GEX for regime, and if I have sensitive level on the option flow, I start implementing it. So a lot of people are starting to ask with it, and I will make an extensive validation about this with the IVB. And let me give you a breakdown of the release. All the main release from the commitment of traders report are positive on the upside, okay? So the last release are positive, and this is the reason I expect the shift maybe not to happen early in the week, but waiting for Wednesday, Thursday to go back down. Okay, this is the breakdown on the fundamentals and on the profile framing. Let's go over the Q&A, Andres, if there is any question related to.
Well, someone says that the areas of the profile framing are crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's Alessandro, is one of the guys from our community that has been following up for a long time now. You can take your computer
switch
if you
this
want.
one. Yes. And we went over, guys, the last 4 months now.
Yeah.
Over a breakdown month by month related to fundamentals and commitment of traders report, and we identify the highest probability profile area, and the community is loving it, okay? Yeah. Always, not in inside, not after, okay, but always before. And we had a crazy win rate on the Nasdaq and on the S&P 500. And the secret here, guys, is not to take a release isolated. So watch always the net asset manager position paired with the profile on both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, because Nasdaq is almost never the driver, okay? It's always the S&P 500, the driver, the heaviest one, and it's more reliable in giving you direction. Bitbox the chart.
Maybe another day. Yeah, the Indian market is not available as a data feed at the moment, but we're working on it for 2027, inshallah. Is this recorded? Yes, this will be recorded, and you're going to be able to see it here on the Deep Charts YouTube channel. And we do these live sessions where basically Fabio breaks down exactly which are the best areas from the profile framing perspective, where he basically sees where the money is, and where price is either following or not following the money, and aligning himself with the COT report and the profile for the next week. And then the entry models, of course, are IVB, deep trades, NASDAQ effort, and all of that good stuff. And these live sessions are typically every single week inside of the Deep Charts community. So if you take advantage of the offer we're currently making, where you have Deep Chart plus Deepdom, especially if you already have Deep Charts, by the way, and you want to renew at the lowest price you're going to see in a long time, well, this is the opportunity
Andrea,
to do
I
that.
see a lot of smart questions. For example, there is this Harman that is asking, do non-commercial also lose money as they are building short? Of course, guys, like no player, the commercial, also Goldman Sachs, when they release the report, no, they have, I think, 10 or 15 negative sessions during the year. They are super profitable, but they also lose money sometimes, okay? And what I want to explain, and I explain every time, is that you need to understand the goal, okay? Anyway, this week I will drop an amazing risk management masterclass, and I start the same. What's the goal, okay? What you need to do. What's the goal of the non-commercial and the commercial? The commercial are hedgers, okay? The non-commercial are speculators. They are asset managers, so they take directional position, okay? They don't buy to provide liquidity. So what you need to understand, if they have a net exposure, okay, on the short side, doesn't mean that next week we go short. And that's the reason the COT report is not a timing tool, okay? What you need to use pair with it is the profile, because the profile is telling you where they are building value, okay? So the necessity to fractionalize the order by the non-commercial is giving you an advantage of time in the in the next release of profit that you will see, okay? And probably it will be a violent rebalance on the short side, okay? The market is overextended. It left a huge amount of inefficiency, and what we are seeing at the moment is still the profile building higher. When we start to see a switch from the profile framing and profiles will switching lower, that's the moment where I will start to engage, okay? So does the non-commercial also sometimes lose money? Every market player, doesn't matter the amount of information, lose money, except for Nancy Pelosi. But this is insider trading. Insider
And
trading
Mr.
is
Baron
not legal.
Trump,
So yeah, if you are Baron Trump, you never lose money, and also Nancy Pelosi. Unfortunately, we are not at this level. We are really young people, and we don't have this kind of connection. So we still are in the part of the players that sometimes lose money.
Yeah. Can you have deep effort on Deepdom? No, that's a proprietary model that Fabio has built specifically for Deep Chart. Can I connect my blah 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 to Deep Chart? Only through Rhythmic, and I don't think the prop firm you're mentioning is using Rhythmic at the moment.
This is a really smart question. No. They lose money, but they hedge via options, right? So not a lot of people know this, but in the commitment of traders, options are included. Yeah. So you have the release for futures and options. So you can see their behavior and their what they are betting on, okay, from the future side and from the option side. And also, like, I'm studying options a lot recently, no? And also the best prediction model of the market maker. The market maker spend billions in prediction model, okay? They are crazy good at doing this. Sometimes they fail, okay? Sometimes the prediction is not aligned with what the market does. And this is when there is a sudden information that is not yet priced in. For example, a tweet, or for example, a change of scenario, or for example, it's going all good, okay? Tomorrow, Iran, okay, strike US or strike aggressively the Middle East. The threat, it's not sustainable anymore. It start again, and the market start to go down again, okay? So you don't always can put the dynamic market, okay, in a box with a predictive model. Otherwise, okay, everything that you test in the past would always work in the futures. It's always about probability, no? You can have a strategy with amazing profit factor in the past, the market change and doesn't perform in the next 3 or 6 months. This is important to understand.
Some little explanation about options. For sure, we're gonna definitely do that at some point. So if I have a Rhythmic data with my prop firm, I can connect to the platform. Yes, absolutely correct. Also DX feed, by the way.
Oh, you can use IVB on pair. Can you put 1 second IVB on the 30 minutes, Andrea, on this one? So what you can do is that you can use the profile framing and the fundamentals to get a probability skew on the bias, no? For example, we saw, now look, our quant is building this, is building a bias persistent system, okay? So let's say that you switch long on the cash session of today. How much probability you have that the next session and the next session will be another cash session above value, okay? So how much is the persistence of the bias? This is another statistical study, and I want to quote here Tom Hogarth because I learned how to do this situational analysis with him, no? And these are probability booster for your edge, because if you have, for example, session persistence with a 65-70% probability of continuing lower, shifting on the downside, fundamentals on the downside, and IVB breaks on the downside, you have 4 layers of information paired.
So it doesn't show because it's yesterday's. Should I backtest it to show them? Like a quick replay?
Yeah, you can show Friday. That
Yeah.
was the session.
It was last session, right? By the way, I'm currently running, as you can see, Windows on Mac. On UTM virtual machine. That's how you typically want to do that in case, but my Mac, sorry, is very powerful. I have 48 gigs of RAM and M5 Pro Max multi-core whatever CPU, so you know, always be mindful of the performance your computer needs in case you use Mac. So I can go on options and replay tick data, and we can select the NASDAQ.
So you can show them
on
also
yesterday's session, right? On Friday.
Friday. Yeah. When we were doing the...
Well, we missed it. We missed one of the best
sessions. I
sessions.
didn't trade because we were doing the webinar, the best session, best directional session, we were doing the webinar.
So here local time is 45, right? Let me set. But was it 1 second? No.
It was the 8, I think.
It was the 8, right? I think I've selected the wrong one. It was the 8. Yeah. Does Deepdom come with a full set of hair like yours? No, that's an add-on. You need to come to Turkey and book a hair transplant, but we don't do that here at Deep Charts. Why this platform not work sometimes goes slow on control? Can I fix it? It depends on...
check on the 30 minutes, the box for the IVB, because it's usually set on the 60. Right. And from statistical validation, it's always better on the 30. Because I want to show them, for example, the profile framing on Friday was long. And what Antonio did here is making it possible to project the protection point. Okay, so here is the session of Friday. They were building value. Now it loads. And when you have the first 30 minutes confirmed, this is when I usually engage from a directional point of view. Okay, so now you will see above, look how much was far the protection, and there was also the extended average way above. And I think when we were live, we reached the extended average. Yeah, now go fast just to show them. Connected to my data feed, but the only short is connected to the delayed one. No, if you connect to the data feed, the one that you see on the charts is just the one that you connect to the data feed, so it's not delayed. If you have real time, then wait 1 second, and let's stop 1 second. What we put directly inside the IVB, it's a filter for the high probability area that is based on the imbalance, no? Because when you see the aggression of the sellers not having results on the best imbalance on the area, usually you have the best setups. Also, Andrea, if you can go on the 40 range and upload the Nasdaq effort, it was a machine gun on Friday. Y30, and yes, you need to put the 40 range.
Well, let me do like
indicator.
Yeah, let me just have both.
They start ignoring us talking about GEX for deep charts. No, I already said that you can implement the option flow and the team is already working on it. For example, I use this not only for levels, but also to understand the pressure.
Here is the NASDAQ effort, which is the other model from Fabio.
Yeah.
And you can see that this was the breakout, right?
Yeah. You
So
had
I
six
can
or seven setups. 6 or 7 setups on Friday.
So starting here, basically. Here, 1 setup, 2 setup, 3, 4.
Ah, nice question. How many live shows do you do week per week on Deepdom? You can already say how many live shows Enrico will do. All the educators, Carmine, me, and Enrico, will do 1 live per week. Okay. So we will have a total, it's 3 weeks if I'm not wrong, Andrea.
Correct.
So we will have a total of 9 live. Probably each live will be 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's more than 15 hours of content.
Does Deep Chart work with the current price of gold in the Forex market? Well, what do you mean? Gold is not Forex, first of all. If you mean the CFD, yes, but you're gonna have to translate it to the CFD price because you only have the futures in Deep Chart. It's a professional tool.
It is amazing how all this revolutionary, groundbreaking idea I think I'm having in my little vibe coding room with Claude are already being done by the Deep Chart's Quant Luca. It's testing everything, guys. It's a nerd. He tests GEX profile associated with IVB to boost the win rate.
Yeah. So this is pretty much what we do on a weekly basis. So for everyone who is interested in using Deepdom, also Deep Charts comes inside of the offer at a ridiculously low price. So the bundle is always everything, you know, the typically the best value option, and you get these live sessions from Fabio every week, every Monday, 1 live session with me this Wednesday. So we're gonna see each other on Wednesday for sure, and a live session with the Deep team on also kind of live charting with more indicators and a lot of other really, really cool stuff. So if you consider that, please click the link in the description or the link that I'm gonna send in the chat right now.
Let me do it.
Yeah, but it's the wrong one. 1 second. Yeah.
Is the 30 minutes IVB better than the 15 minutes? It is better than the 15 minutes for the stability. Now, in the video that I shoot today on the risk management, I explained the importance on variance of results, okay? Maybe there are some models that are performing better if you just analyze them from net performance, not raw performance. You say, okay, I did 200% is better. But if you go on the variance of results, okay, the 30 minutes is the best one because it gives you a more stable return and it's more reliable. The 15 minutes can do 3-4 multiple breakouts per session. The 30 minutes, it's not so common. It's 16% of the session that does multiple breakout, but usually it's way more reliable.
Can release the Deepdom launched for the current traders, then an update at 15th? No, we don't do this just for beta purposes. We do it because we want to first have everyone on board and then get started with the software. Nasdaq effort on Friday was insane. Yeah, most directional days the Nasdaq effort is insane.
And also consider, guys, you always ask me why you trade Nasdaq, not yes. Because when Nasdaq rally, Nasdaq rally.
Yeah.
Okay, you can cover in one session 2 or 3 negative sessions that maybe the market was choppy. Is this a Deepdom web? Which one? No.
No, Deepdom is not a web version.
It's not web.
It's not a web platform. Yeah, the live will be here on YouTube. We'll stay here.
I see on the 15 minutes when it breaks both sides, I get chopped up. That's the reason 30 minutes is more stable. Will you guys do any Deepdom briefcase shows today? If I'm not wrong, Antonio is migrating the server to prepare for the release on Monday. It is?
Yes, correct.
Monday.
So tomorrow, in tomorrow's or the next few live sessions, you're also going to see a little bit more of Deepdom as well, and all over the next 2 weeks for the offer. When we will have an iOS version ASAP.
But to be honest, now I'm with Andrea. Okay, I'm not good with scrolling on the Mac because I use Windows, but it works smooth. Like
It's
there is
very
no
smooth.
problem, there is no lag, there is I don't know. Maybe the problem you have if you don't have the minimum requirements to run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a very powerful Mac,
VPS.
so
On the bootcamp, will we learn about heatmap and liquidity? Yes, heatmap and liquidity.
yeah. Of course, there's going to be some auction market theory involved here and there, and how to contextualize it with other
Yeah.
tools. But that's a consequence.
Are you looking to add third-party options? No. We plan to do everything in our
In-house.
in-house, like everything else. Also, Antonio, like the heat map, it's from Antonio. Deep charts, it's from Antonio. And also, the options will be from Antonio.
Just sad to see Deepdom out title on videos, and afterwards here it comes on Friday. Well, we've been very clear in the webinar, and it's also on the website. When you click, it says pre-order now. It doesn't say access now. And we were very clear about this, so I'm not sure why you should be complaining. Where is the bootcamp taking place? So whenever you are inside of Deep Charts, you go to my.deepcharts.com. And in the learning section, by the way, even if you bought Deepdom, you should already have the order flow mastery course that you can start to go through to kind of get acquainted with order flow. And then there's going to be, I think, in the calendar section where you see the events, there's going to be all of the live sessions there displayed in a calendar.
Okay.
Do we need to buy level 2 data for Deepdom? Absolutely yes. And specifically, we suggest DXFeed, because it's slightly cheaper than other alternatives, and it has all the MBO data you need.
Mm-hmm. But MBO is not mandatory, yeah. Like
it comes with level 2 automatically with DXFeed. Like
no, I mean activating MBO is not mandatory. Like you can also watch the area with.
Yeah. Does Deep Charts work for futures, for example, FDAX? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Even though the FDAX is a little bit illiquid, so you don't see a lot of the cool footprints, a little bit like the Nasdaq. So if you use FDAX, I strongly advise to go maybe for the big trades.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask Fabio? Do you think futures has many manipulations?
Forex
future. As many manipulation. It's not that I think. There are documents about the fact that it was JP Morgan, if I'm not wrong, one time took 600 millions of but not in the not how you think. It's not the week below your entry price that it's manipulation. It's what Trump is doing at the moment can be called manipulation.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, like if you position yourself or some familiar, or congressman, and then give the news or exit with the tweet, and after 4 hours you give the opposite tweet. This is market manipulation.
Mm-hmm. If I buy Deepdom and Deep Charts in 1 month, will the bootcamp be recorded for future users? No. Is Rhythmic has a disadvantage? I have your Rhythmic data feed because I have servers in my city. I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest, but the
billing.
The billing is the only problem, yeah. But other than that, it's a bit more expensive, but also the thing with DXFeed is that they can update things quickly because we're in contact with them, unlike Rhythmic, that they take a little bit, slower with all the updates that there are, and sometimes DXFeed has shown more stability for some users. Does Deepdom alone works on Mac? No, there's nothing is native for Mac yet inside of the Deep Chart suite. Now it's only on Windows, and as you can see also here, I'm on Mac, but I'm simulating Windows through UTM, and as you can see, no need to activate. Does Deepdom show liquidity levels like
Bright
Nasdaq?
another time? Now I need to
put him in timeout.
I'm out because I was reading IVB. If you ask politely and don't spam 25 times, maybe I reply.
Tell me one more. When the users will get Deepdom? On the 15th. I would like to thank you, Fabio and Andrea, for their hard work since last launch and the service until now. Thank you again. It's a pleasure, and thank you to all the Deep Chart team, from Antonio, Rodolfo, and everything, to Ahmad, Jason, and all the support team members.
They are asking for Iceberg. I will love to show them. We need to wait for the migration of the server, guys. Maybe this week we can do another session for
for sure. That's the plan. So today's the plan was to kind of show you a little bit of the kind of stuff that we do on Deep Charts community. So for the rest of the questions regarding Deepdom, we're gonna see you in the next few days. The next live session should be on Wednesday, and we're gonna see that also in action in a real New York Market Open environment. So that's it for today. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is it from Andrea and Fabio, and welcome to Deep Charts to everyone who's joined.